the peso, they've adjusted the number of price, they've removed a number of subsidies. The global economy continues to display remarkable resilience, with inflation declining steadily and growth holding up. The chance of a soft landing has increased, but the pace of expansion remains slow and risks remain.
For some of those downgrades, and I'm just wondering, just beyond South Africa, what other countries in that region?
Back in the beginning of 2023, there were a preponderance of risks to the downside for economic activity and to the upside for inflation. We were seeing maybe inflation being very persistent. There were a lot of concerns about the fact that the fight against inflation would potentially bring a recession. And 1 year later, we are in a situation where growth has held steady and inflation has been coming down. So there's certainly a very good development.
Before we go again to the floor, I just want to remind everyone that we will be taking questions on WebEx, and I also want to encourage.
So we are seeing potential for maybe if central banks remain too tight for too long, there could be a slowdown in economic activity, or if there is a tightening of financial conditions, or if there is another round of supply shocks, for instance, there could be downside to the global economy. But there can also be upside to the global economy. Inflation could be continuing to come down back toward targets, allowing central banks to ease faster.
The last update in October, given now that you're seeing what appears to be a much brighter picture for the global economy. The second part...
So you put all of this together, and what we are seeing, and we are agreeing with that assessment, is central banks holding off on easing until maybe the second half of 2024. And then that's when we anticipate that the Federal Reserve, the European Central Bank, the Bank of England, and others might start easing.
South African Daily Maverick. I see, it looks to me like you have downgraded your forecast.
So addressing the governance weaknesses, this is not only in the current context in South Africa, but across the region, sub-Saharan Africa, there are a number of structural bottlenecks. And this is what could create the environment to attract that investment, including from richer, advanced countries where there is the capital, to bring it here to this potentially very dynamic region. In terms of the EFF program, what I can say is that